Welcome to all duties. Now we start today's Bhagavatam class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namastaram Chaiva Narottama Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tata Jayam Udire नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवती नैष्टिकी हरे कृष्णा दंडोत प्रणाम टुडे स्टार्ट न्यू चैप्टर ऑफ श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 12 chapter 9 Markandeya Rishi sees the illusory potency of the Lord shloka number 1 to 16 Sutta uvacha संस्तुत भगवान इत्थं मार्कंडेय धीमता नारायण नरसख प्रीत आह भृगुद्वहम श्री भगवान उवाच भो भो ब्रह्म ऋषि वर्य असि सिद्ध आत्म समाधीना मयि भक्त्या अनपायिन्या तपस्वाध्याय संयमई वयं ते परितुष्टाः मत्वत् बृहत् व्रतचर्यया वयं प्रतिच भद्र जीतं देवदेश प्रपन्ना आरती हरा अच्युत वरेण एतावतालं भवान् समदृश्यत् गृहीत्वा अज आदयः यस्य श्रीमत्पाद अब्जदर्शनम् मनसा योग पक्वेन सह भवान् मे अक्षिगोचरः अथ अपि अम्बुज पत्र अक्ष पुण्य श्लोक शिखामणे द्रक्षे मायां यया लोकः सुत उवाच इति इडित अर्पित कामं ऋषिना भगवान् मुने तथा इति सह स्मयेन प्राग बदरी आश्रमम् ईश्वरः तम एव चिन्तयत् अर्थम ऋषि स्व आश्रम एव वसन अग्नि अर्क सोम अम्बु भूवायु वेद आत्मसु ध्यान हरिं भाई अपूजयत क्वचित पूर्वं विसस्मार प्रेम प्रसर प्रेम प्रसर रस संप्लुत तस एकता पुष्प भद्रा तटे मुने उपासीन संध्यायां ब्रह्मण वायु अभुत्म तम चंड शब्दम समुदीरयंत बलाह का अनु अभवन करालाह अक्ष तत विदृश्यन्त चतुसमुद्राः समन्तत क्ष्मा तल क्ष्मा अतल अग्रसन्तः समीर समीर वेग उर्मिभिः उग्र नक्र महाभय अवर्त गभीर घोषाः अंत भई च अद्भिः अतिदुद्भिः करैः शतरुदाभिः उपतापितं जगत् चतुर्विधं वीक्षस आत्मना मुनिः जल आप्लुतां क्ष्मां विमनाः समत्रसत तस्य एवम् उद्वीक्षत ऊर्मिभीषणः प्रभञ्जन अगृणी तव तवाम तवः वहामः अर्णव आपुर्यमाण वर्षभिः अम्बुदेहि क्षाम अपि क्षाम द्वीपवर्षाद्रिभिः सक्ष सक्ष्म अंतरिक्षम सदीवं सभागणं त्रैलोक्यम सह दिग्प्लुतम स एव उर्वीरितः महामुनिः बभ्राम विक्षिप्ते जटा जड अंधवत क्षुतत्रोटपरितः मकरैर्तिमिङ्गिलैः उपद्रुतः विचि नभस्वता हतः तमसि अपारे पतितः भ्रमणदिश न वेद खम गाम च परिश्रम इशित ट्रांसलेशन पर्पट श्रील प्रभु की जय। So the Goswami said, the Supreme Lord Narayan, the friend of Nar, was satisfied by the proper glorification offered by the intelligent sage Markandeya. Thus the Lord addressed that excellent descendant of Bhrigu. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Markandeya, you are indeed the best of all Lord Brahmanas. You had perfected your life by practicing fixed meditation upon the Supreme Soul as well as by focusing upon me. Your undeviating devotional service, your austerities, your study of the Vedas, and your strict adherence to regulative principle. We are perfectly satisfied with your practice of lifelong celibacy. Please choose whatever benediction you desire. Since I can grant your wish, may you enjoy all good fortune. The sage said, O Lord of Lords, all glories to you. O Lord Achyut, you remove all distress for the devotees who surrender unto you. That you don't need to see you is a benediction I want. Such demigods as Lord Brahma achieved their exalted position simply by seeing your beautiful lotus feet after their minds and had become mature in yoga practice. And now, my Lord, you have personally acted. Oh, let us add, Lord, oh, of renowned personality. Although I am satisfied to see your illusory potency, by whose influence entire world, together with its ruling demigods, considers reality to be materially variegated. Sut Goswami said, O wise Shunaka, thus satisfied by Markandeya's praise and worship, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, smiling replied, so be it, and then departed for hermitage at Badrikashram, thinking always of his desire to see the Lord's illusory energy. The sage remained in his ashrama, meditating constantly upon the Lord within fire, the sun, the moon, water, the earth, air, lightning, and his own heart, and worshipping him with paraphernalia conceived in his mind, but sometimes overwhelmed by waves of love for the Lord. Markandeya would forget to perform his regular worship. O Brahmana, Shaunaka, best of the Bhrigus, one day while performing his evening worship on the bank of Pushpabhadra, a great wind suddenly arose. That wind created a terrible sound and brought its way fearsome clouds that were accompanied by lightning and roaring thunder and that as heavy as wagon wheels. Then the four great oceans winds, the bolts of lightning and the great waves rising beyond the sky. As the whole earth flooded, he grew perplexed and fearful. Even as Markandeya looked on, the rain pouring down from the clouds filled the ocean more and more until that great sea, its water violently whipped into terrifying waves of by hurricanes, covered up our island, mountains, and continents. The water inundated the earth, outer space, and the celestial region. Indeed, the entire expanse of the universe was flooded in all directions, and out of all its inhabitants, only Markandeya air scattered, as if dumb and torment, hunger, and thirst, attacked by monsters, makaras, and timingala, battered by the infinite darkness into which he had fallen. As he grew increasingly exhausted, he lost all sense of direction and could not tell the sky from the earth. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that the Lord used the plural form in the beginning of this verse. We are satisfied because he was referring to himself along with Shiva and Uma, who will later be glorified by Markandeya. The Lord then used the singular, I am the bestower of benediction, because ultimately only Lord Narayan Krishna can award the highest perfection of consciousness. Markandeya Rishi points out that exalted demigods like Lord Brahma achieved the position simply by glimpsing the Lord's lotus feet, and yet Markandeya Rishi was now able to see Lord Krishna's entire body. Thus, he could not even imagine the extent of his good fortune. A conditioned soul sees the material world to be constituted of independent, separate entities. Actually, all things are united, being potencies of the Supreme Lord. The Lord's bewildering potency cast living being into illusion. The word Bhagwan and Ishvara in this verse refer to the Supreme Lord in his incarnation as the twin sages Nar and Narayan. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the Supreme Lord smiled ruefully because he prefers that his pure devotees stay away from his illusory energy. Capacity to see the illusory energy of the Lord sometimes develops into the sinful material desire. Nonetheless, to please his devotee Markandeya, the Lord granted his request. Just as a father who cannot convince his son to give up pursuing a harmful desire may let him experience some painful reaction so that he will then voluntarily desist. Thus, understanding as if prepared to. It is apparent from says that Markandeya Rishi was a beauty of Lord Krishna, there the illusory energy of the Lord, not to fulfill some material ambition, but to learn how to see. Here the word Chatuvidam refers to the four sources of birth for conditioned souls, embryo, eggs, seeds, and perspiration. Thus end the purpose. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manabhishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavan Jatam Vishpadan Sarvika Sri Vishakanvitancha नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत सरते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा दंडवत प्रणाम। टुडे वी स्टार्ट न्यू चैप्टर Srimad Bhagwatam, and Markandeya Rishi sees the illusory potency of the Lord. They describe about how Markandeya's vision of the Supreme Personality of Godhead illusory energy. Means Markandeya Rishi wants uh, uh, how the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord work, and so they uh, told to Krishna about to see that, that and that, describe here, and he wanted to see the illusory Lord's illusory energies. Prabhuji will tell you in detail. Hare Krishna Prana. Vancha kalpatarubhe cha kripa sindhubhe eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Dandavad Pranam.
So after hearing the wonderful prayers by Sri Markandeya Rishi, Nara as well as Narayan, they were highly pleased. And that is where this chapter number 9 of the 12th canto starts, wherein Markandeya Rishi is now going to see the illusory potency of the Lord. So what this illusory energy is, what all it can do, that is what we are going to be discussing. So Krishna was very satisfied by the prayers. And since he was satisfied, he has asked him for a benediction. And see what Markandeya Rishi is asking. He is asking that he wants to see the illusory energy. And Krishna, as merciful as he is, he simply said to Markandeya, okay, so be it. And then he left for Badrikashram. Now, let us understand in detail what has been happening. First and foremost, what we need to learn right from the first shloka itself is that when we are saying intelligent sage Markandeya, so that is the qualifier which is being mentioned here. That is intelligent saint Markandeya. Dhimataha Markandeyena. So who is intelligent? One who understands his eternal position or servitude to Lord Krishna. One who identifies himself with soul as part and parcel of Krishna. And one who is eager to go back home, back to Godhead, is intelligent. And that is what Markandeya Rishi has been addressed to here. And then what it is mentioning additionally is that Krishna was satisfied by proper glorification. Now, satisfaction of Krishna is not dependent upon our glorification. Because some may be literally qualified, some may not be literally qualified. What Krishna does is, he looks at your bhav, his bhavarthi, and not looking at your words. He's looking at the meaning at your heart. And Markandeya Rishi actually had done all these things. And that is why Krishna was pleased. Not only pleased, but very pleased with him. And he also explains the reason why he was pleased. He says that you have perfected your life by meditation upon me with undeviated devotional service, austerities, study of Vedas, and strict adherence to regulative principles. So, four things due to which Krishna was pleased. So, what it indirectly means is we need to implement them in our life. We should have fixed meditation upon Krishna. And how it is possible in Kali Yuga? By meditating on his holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Second, by undeviated devotional service. Right from the time we wake up till the time we go back to sleep, the day has to be as per the sadhana as described by Srila Prabhupada. Austerities. We have to celebrate the functions, Ekadashi especially, study of the scriptures, and adherence to the four regulative principles. And then there was something else which enabled Markandeya Rishi to get a benediction of his desire. And that was his practice of lifelong celibacy. But those who are in Grihasthashram may not be able to do it, is what we generally believe. But celibacy does not mean the literal word. What it means is having a regulated life. If it is unregulated, even in thoughts, then you have lost your celibacy. And that is why Markandeya Rishi received. And what Markandeya Rishi is saying is, oh, Chuta, you can remove the stress of the devotees who surrender unto you. And that is what we also want. We want to see Krishna face to face. So what it means is we have to surrender to Krishna. Because even Lord Brahma, he received the exalted position because he looked at the lotus feet of Krishna. But here, Krishna gave the benediction of he himself appearing in front of Markandeya Rishi. And so, anyone obviously is going to be just satisfied by seeing him. But then, Markandeya Rishi asked for something else, and that was to see the illusory potency. Because everything is controlled in that. Now, Krishna, he actually wanted to not do it, not show the illusory potency, is what the gurus say, what is mentioned in the Shastras. Because it was expected that because of that, there will be difficulties. So Krishna was understanding that it should not be shown. But then, because he was like a child who was not ready to listen, Krishna finally said, okay, let me grant you the request. Though it will be a painful experience for you, but let it be. And so Lord smiled and he prepared to display the illusory potency to him. But here one more thing comes in. When Krishna initially is addressing as we, so that time it was expected that even Uma and Shivji were there. But then Krishna clears that it is him who is the controller, Ishvara. So having granted the desire, he goes and then starts the actual experience of illusion, which Markandeya Rishi starts getting. So it happened on the bank of Pushpabhadra when Markandeya Rishi was performing his evening worship. A wind comes, very, very terrible sound. There are clouds, lightnings, thunders, and then there's rain. And all of a sudden, the oceans appear on all sides. And the whole earth is swallowed. There are waves which are going here and there. The sea monsters come. There are whirlpools, rumblings. All the inhabitants, they are tormented within, without, bolts of lightning, and there's so much of waves rising beyond the sky. The whole earth is flooded, and everyone is fearful. The rain keeps pouring down. The ocean gets filled more, more, more. Terrifying waves, hurricanes, all islands, mountains, continents, everything is buried. The whole earth is inundated. The outer space, the heaven, the celestial region. In fact, the whole universe from all directions. And no one is there. It's only Markandeya who is available. Even because of so much of torrential rains, his hair is scattered. And he's just wandering alone, dumb, blind. He feels hungry, he feels thirsty, but there's nothing around. There are monstrous fish who are attacking. There are winds, there are waves, and he moves into the darkness in which he has fallen. And he increasingly gets exhausted, loses all sense of directions, and could not tell the sky from the earth. And that is how the illusion continues further. Hare Krishna. Now, we thank you very much for joining the session. We'll continue the discussion tomorrow on.